The Metropolis Patterson transmission crankset by Full Speed Ahead. Mount the control plate to the bottom bracket shelf first, using the BB18 cup and the seal washer between the control plate and the frame. The BB cup tool is handy for twisting in the BB cup. It's left-hand thread. I like to start in the right-hand direction to find the thread ends and then tighten in the left-hand direction. After it's finger tight, I'll go get the special wrench included in the kit and use that to stabilize the control plate so that the torque fix feature stays hard against the bottom surface of the chainstay. The torque specification for the BB cup is stated in the instructions. In this case, I'm using an open-ended wrench for convenience. Make it as tight as you can. And when you're finished, make sure the torque fix feature is in direct contact with the bottom of the chainstay. Now we're going to find a hole to insert the small set screw. We picked the hole that puts the screw against the right edge of a cancellation. The reason for this is we're trying to prevent the left-hand threaded BB cup from turning in the right-hand direction. Tighten the set screw with a 1.5 Allen key, and then make sure that it's contacting the correct side of a cancellation so that the forces are transferred all the way through to the frame to make sure that the BB cup can never move in the right-hand direction, which would of course loosen it. Now we get the control cable and make sure the shifter is in the cable released position so we can tighten the cable clamp. The torque is specified in the instructions. First I get it finger tight, and then I reach for the torque wrench. Next, I use the inline cable adjuster to just take the slack out of the control cable, and then operate the shifter between the cable pulled and cable released positions. A little bit of grease is always helpful on the threads. This is the external BB cup and it's right-hand threaded and should be torqued to the torque specified in the instructions. This is a good time to apply a little more grease. It's not absolutely necessary because the mechanism is completely pre-greased at the factory, but as long as you have it open, it's a good idea. Now with the shifter in the cable pulled position, we see that the control pawl is lifted out of the way to make it easier to slide the gear spindle right through the BB bearings. A little more grease on the inside face of the ratchet wheel. Slide straight in. Now we slide on the non-drive side crank. Install the spindle bolt to preload the bottom bracket bearings. Again, the torque is stated in the instructions. A little bit of grease on the threads always helps. The torque wrench set per the specification in the instructions preloads the bottom bracket bearings. And then the pinch bolts, we always begin with the inboard pinch bolt and draw it up to the torque stated in the instructions. Then go to the outboard bolt, do the same thing. And then repeat the process to make sure both bolts are properly torqued. And now you're finished, completely installed and ready to ride.